Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. Sorry about that, had some technical difficulties. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is November 21st, 2022, and I believe that today is the day. It's been a long journey. It's been an arduous journey. It's been very challenging. One of the things I want to do, I don't know, I've thought about this. I've thought about this moment for a while. One of the things I want to do is catch the beginning of the bull run, okay? I don't necessarily have to catch it on a trade, okay? Because my trades are in, I'm all done. I'm basically just waiting, right? But I want to be able to catch the moment that the trend changes from consolidative A-B basing to impulsive back up only. Okay, I want to catch that moment, and this is part of why I'm going live right now. This is an emergency stream because I believe that we're really close. It may be it. Okay. And you know, this has been tough. This has been tough to read. This has been tough to figure out because we're talking about corrective price action, and corrective price action is tricky. It can come in a lot of different ways, right? Even if you're technically sound in your analysis, there's just so much variation, right? There's so many different permutations and combinations that these technical indicators can take, or these technical waves rather, these corrective waves can take. So it's hard to really pin down, but I feel like we've got it, okay? Young Dasa says, we are gonna have the move soon. Definitely, I do believe that this move is coming sooner than later. And I want to catch it on stream with you all, so this is why. And so what I'm gonna do really quickly, I'm gonna show you why I think that the move is now, okay? And we're just gonna wait and see and try and catch it, okay? So first, like, you know, let's just zoom out and take a 400-foot kind of view of what's going on, just so you understand like my reasoning if you're new to the channel or anything like that. So basically, this whole range to me is a consolidation reversal range, okay? You know, brief synopsis of, you know, why I'm getting that is basically, according to Elliott wave theory, there's three modes of price action. There's impulsive price action, there's corrective price action, and there's consolidative reversal price action, or A-B basing, okay? And A-B basing is the mode that takes price in one direction and kind of shakes it up and processes it into the other direction, okay? So price doesn't just stop on a dime and change direction, change trend. It has to go through A-B basing. So that's A-B basing, okay? That's the short version of it. And so here I see A-B basing, which takes the form of 2 degrees of A-B bases, okay? And that's what I'm seeing right here, right? 1 degree, and then the second degree I see down here, okay? So that's why I'm very excited, because I'm seeing these 2 degrees, okay? And like I said in the beginning, it's really hard to read because you're just basically trying to read corrective waves, okay? And, you know, in the beginning, I was reading this as my A wave, this is my B wave, all that stuff. But anyway, for many reasons I'm not going to dive into right now, I think it's very safe to say that this is a 1 degree of A-B basing. This is a massive degree of A-B basing, and then this is the second degree, okay? And so right here, where we're at now, is the pivot. That's what we're in. So that's the, you know, 100-foot, or I don't know what you say, the bird's eye view analysis. And now just jumping down into the 4-hourly time frame, I just annotated the second degree of A-B basing that you can see here. Yeah? You see this? In yellow is the first degree. Okay, again, it's comprised of an A wave and a B wave. Okay, that's 1 degree. and then another A wave, and then another B wave. You can see it's a composed flat correction. That's a second degree. Let's try and do that better. Okay, and so here you would get a pivot, because usually in AB basing you get 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot. So that's why I'm seeing this. And right here is where I'm at. Let's see. So I really like this read, and I think that this right here is the second degree, or sorry, the pivot. Right here. An A wave and a B wave right there. So I feel like that's it, right? 2 degrees of AB basing, a pivot, and you come into your new trend. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. That's one of the reasons I'm excited. Okay, so let's turn on our volume indicator, and obviously, you know, we shouldn't necessarily need volume, because what we should get up and out of this move is a big bump, right? Because the trend has to change. You know, nothing lukewarm. It's got to be a very clean pump, and so that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm expecting. Back on the 4-hourly time frame, another reason I like it is just looking at my momentum indicator. My 4-hourly momentum indicator is completely bottomed out. It's oversold, so I like that. Okay. And then another reason I like all of this is my DXY, which is my counter indicator, but a very important indicator. It's my market mover, yeah? So my DXY, instead of putting in a flat correction, I put in a zigzag correction, and that's not out of the ordinary, right? Wave 2 usually comes in the form of a zigzag, and this is what we have here. An A wave, a B wave, and then an impulse. Okay, that's a 3-wave move between the 0.382 and the 0.618 of this impulse. Okay, because that's how we're reading it. Wave 1, and this is wave 2. So just run the Fibonacci retracement from the top to the bottom here, and yeah, you can see that this hits between the 382 and the 618 right here with this 3-wave move. And the other thing I really like about this read is that let's see, where's my, oh, here it is. 5 days and 2 hours right here. Five days and 21 hours. Mind you, this is taking into account all of the gaps that you get in traditional finance, right? Because we're looking at the US dollar currency index, so you're going to have gaps, which comes into account, or comes into play when you're looking at the time it's taken for these wave functions to print. Okay, you have another gap here, and you have some smaller gaps. Okay, so it's harder. It's not like crypto, like you can just pull the time measure out and you can get an accurate you can get an accurate measure of the time it's taken for a given wave function. All that I'm doing here, for those of you who don't know, is I'm looking for time parity, because waves of the same degree are comparable in time and in price. So I'm looking for time parity between this purported wave 1 and this purported wave 2. Okay, so that's all that was. But anyway, that read for me, given the time parity, given the way that the structure of this wave function, okay, and obviously the structure of this one, everything's telling me you're likely going into wave 3, which is the most impulsive and the most, typically the most impulsive and the most the longest Elliott wave, and it's the fastest. So that is exciting. So that's the other aspect of this read that I really, really like. So yeah, given that 40-foot sort of analysis, I'm just gonna go on the smaller time frames and play lookout. So we're gonna play lookout not just for Bitcoin but for all of these other assets, and I just love this bounce. Like, this is the type of bounce that you want to see in a new trend, in a new impulsive trend. Like, it's a strong bounce. It's kind of a unquestionably strong bounce. So Cardano had one as well. Reserve Rights had one as well. You could see it across the board. Dodo had a really good one. ETH had a strong one. ZIL had a strong one. Yeah. Doge had a strong one. Obviously, you do. Well, we don't know what form these bounces take, if it's corrective or it's impulsive, but I think it's leading to an impulsive move on the small time frames. We don't know, maybe like another AB base, but if it's completely impulsive, you'll see them all respect the 0618 Fibonacci retracement level. So yeah, strong bounces. I just want to enjoy this positive price action right now. It's been a really, really hectic bear market. It's been tough to build positions in this market. It's been very tough. But yeah, that's basically the work I've been doing for the past 600 days, something like that. Ahmet Mert says it needs one more low, because if it will make a higher degree C and go way higher, it needs to start with 5. However, it didn't. No, brother, I think DXY is in wave 4. Correction. Check the Fibonacci retracement for wave 4. It exactly pivoted from 382 level. Ahmet, agree to disagree. I think my DXY, there's no wave 4 in the DXY. Like, I mean, just going on the high time frames, I think it's quite clear. I think Ahmed is saying that the DXY is in wave 4 right now. But yeah, I had wave 4. So Ahmed, in pushback to that, so you're saying that this is an ending diagonal of a wave 3, and then that this is wave 4, and then you're looking for wave 5. Is that what you're saying? I just disagree with that. And one of the main reasons is, look at this 14-year support and resistance. This is exactly where we suspected we would get a big response from the market. Okay. Again, if you don't know what that line is, just look at the monthly chart. And I pulled this dotted line from 2008 all the way to present day, and you can see it's been respected. And my count has wave 5 meeting that resistance and, sort of wicking above it and essentially eventually being rejected from it. So I think this is a likely, nothing is 100%, but this is a highly probable wave 5 right here, with this rising ascending wedge, which is, quintessentially like what you get in a wave 5. But I know you can this could be the wave 5 of wave 3, but I've counted it out. And yeah, I really like this count for a lot of reasons. So yeah, I think we finished the uptrend for the DXY. I think we finished the uptrend. And we are in, let's go back to the daily. And I think we're in a descent. And so far, so good. So far, so good. But yeah, who knows? I'm That's just my read, highly probable read. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing on the DXY, and then obviously in Bitcoin, I already showed why I think this is it. Also, if it wasn't it, people really think it can go. Let's just go really quickly on the. Oh, actually, no. I want to show you this. Like this, my master chart for Bitcoin is still intact. Okay, so basically, Ahmed, I've taken Bitcoin from the beginning, with this index chart and charted it from the very beginning, and I have us in minor wave 2, and coming out of minor wave 2 into into minor wave 3 rather, and so this is consistent. Like, if you look at this and you think we're gonna go lower, then you're completely violating this trend right here. Okay, you're completely violating this trend. If you go much lower, also, in terms of time, your flat correction, this ABC flat correction, is complete. So if you think we're going lower, you think we're going lower in the context of an AB base, right? It can't be in the context of. Sorry, 1 second. I don't know why there we go. It can't be in the context of this actual wave function, right? So you take this, it seems like, okay, if technically speaking, yeah, you can go all the way down to the 0.618, okay? So you do have some room there. But again, it's unlikely just given this measurement right here. Taking this A wave, retracement of the B wave. Now, your actual impulse hit the phi ratio, the 1.618 right here, and then you started your AB base and you dipped down, but what's important is your target was met with the 1.618, with this A, B, C hitting the phi ratio. Okay, so I think for a lot of reasons, this is it, and we're essentially just dealing with this AB base reversal pattern, which has taken us very, quite legally with this B wave down to these levels, which is fine because you haven't broken the phi ratio of this A wave. So that's my read. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. Nothing's 100%, but I think that's a high probability read. So back to the breakout watch. So let's go on the small time frame again. So yeah, I do think we get this big move here for those reasons. So yeah, just sit and wait. Given that this is a bull market, right? Bitcoin's not going to be the first out of the gates, so let's just keep an eye on other assets, because other assets should be front running this move. So yeah, we should see big moves throughout the market, and Bitcoin dominance should go down, right? If it's really the start of the bull market, Bitcoin dominance should go down. So what we should see is, here, let's see. Let's go on the 15. Okay. Looks like it's putting in a pivot here, right? Looks like this is some sort of A, B pivot, and then reversal. looks like it, right? Looks like it. Also, the momentum indicator is indicating that as well. Essentially, you have that the end of the move here, and then you had the start of the AB basing, right? So, again, AB basing happens everywhere. Price goes from one impulse to another, one trend to another. You don't just turn on a dime. And it's not something people talk about, but it exists. Let's see. I would say, yeah, like I said, that would be my big A. That would be my big B. I think this is my small A. This is my small B. I think something like that. Okay. But yeah, let's have a quick look at Bitcoin dominance. And by the way, for those of you guys who are really serious about trading and charting, I every year during this time, around this time, there's a huge sale, a Black Friday sale for TradingView. That's the best time to get it, like, because I don't think that the free version of TradingView really affords. I mean, it's not really something that you can use if you're really serious, because you need more data, especially for different projects. And I've had the pro version for so long, I don't really honestly remember what's included in the free version. But I remember I tried to use the free version and I just couldn't do it, and continued to perform like serious analysis. So if you want to get the actual premier good version of TradingView, the best time to do is to get it during the Black Friday sale. And I do have a link, a referral link in my description where you can get an additional some 20-30% off. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I always sort of renew my membership around this time for those reasons. Like they have a 60% off sale or something crazy like that. What were we looking at? Oh yeah, wanted to see dominance. Okay, so yeah, we want to see dominance come down. Let's go on the hourly. Okay, yeah. There we go. And just like we saw with the DXY on the smaller time frame, you can see, I think this is a 3-wave move. I think this is a 3-wave move, and I think you get in a pivot here to come down in reverse. That's just my take on this price action. Okay. Ahmet says, what are you thinking about? He says, what are you thinking about Ethereum? So I heard Ethereum has been is being dumped or something like that, by some FTX, somebody doing FTX or something like that. But okay, so I feel like if that were true, then here's where I see the effects of that, because I remember saying that Ethereum's been particularly strong and exhibiting strength by way of only printing zigzags, consistently printing zigzags. So I saw nothing but zigzags for a while from Ethereum, right? 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 5 waves up, 3 waves down. And then all of a sudden, here we see some sort of break in that, where you get a flat correction, right? So I think that flat correction right here may have been a result of people dumping inordinate sums of Ethereum on the market. Still, it didn't break the chart. It didn't do anything like that. It's just, if that's true, if they did indeed dump billions of Ethereum, then this is where you would see it, I think. Okay, but at the end of the day, I'm still seeing 2 degrees of AB basing, right? That's the first degree right here, that A wave and that subsequent B wave in a zigzag, and then this A wave and this subsequent B wave, and then your pivot. So you still have 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot, so this is still a valid reversal pattern. So that's what I think of Ethereum. And on the small time frames, as we saw, it still looks okay. Yeah, it put in that big strong bounce, and it's respecting the 0618. So, 15 minutes, 30 minutes up, 30 minutes down. It should start to go soon. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Ethereum. Let us. So Litecoin, first mover in our watch list. Okay, let's see the general watch list. Amit says, I think in higher time frame we are in a C wave and we need a B goes higher than a C 950 to 1,000, then pivot to $2,500, $3,500 range. You mean Ethereum? I think Ethereum's a more straightforward read than that. Ethereum's a more straightforward read than that. Remember, guys, it's not that complicated. If everything in crypto is what it's been for the past 10 to 12 years, then it's all kind of on a string. Everything kind of moves in lockstep. Doesn't necessarily mean it provides the same price action, but everything is kind of in the same, doing the same thing. So, I mean, I don't know how people who do Elliott wave read this as impulsive, because that's all they can read. How do you read up and down price action as impulsive? Or maybe you're reading it as maybe you're reading it as an intra-wave move, right? So let's go to the Ethereum chart right here on a high time frame. Yeah, I don't think this is... Yeah, you know what? In all fairness, I had some trouble reading Ethereum's chart before, you see. I put in some... I was thinking, oh man, I'm not exactly sure how to read this, but to be honest, my favorite read on Ethereum, high time frame, is we're in cycle wave 5, okay? Because I see cycle wave 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're in cycle wave 5. We're in primary wave 2. So cycle wave 5, primary wave 2, going into primary wave 3. So that's what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's my best read on Ethereum on a high time frame. And again, I think it's quite clear here. I don't know, what the big discussion is, but you go up impulsively. Who's gonna dispute that that's an impulsive move up, and who's gonna dispute that that's in a corrective move, right? That's pretty much it, right? And again, since we're doing Elliott wave, we have the luxury of being able to do time analysis on these patterns. So 427 days up, and about 400 days down. Okay, and that's, mind you, on the weekly time frame. So there's, you know, there's some there's some give and take in terms of the margin of error, but you have the time it takes for wave 1 comparable with the time it takes for wave 2. People who are calling for much lower understand that if you go much lower, this is going to blow up this entire correction. You're already correcting. You've already corrected for... So if you add the AB base after the actual correction, you add about 150, 170 days. Something like that, you know? So, you know, the correction doesn't last forever, but whatever. So that's my take, high time frame. Looks like there's some action in the charts. Let's go see the charts. What's going on here? Okay. Okay. Okay, looks like this was clearly a pivot of some sort, an AB base. Because we went up all the way, came down all the way, right? You know that's not impulsive. I know some people think that's impulsive, but that you can't break the 0618 and be impulsive, right? That is corrective. But it's fine. You know, before you go into impulsive price action, you can get these corrective pivots. That's okay. But that's not where you start your impulse. Okay. Come on. Let's get this. I would love to see this. I'm waiting for it. We've been waiting for it. Okay, let's see in the general watch list what's going on. Okay, it looks like I wouldn't consider this as going because this had already started. Voyager had already started. Request Network already had already started as well. Polis, we're not going to read that. It's illegible on the smaller time frames. Band Protocol looks like it already started. IOTA looks like it's already started. Okay, Tron looks like it's already started. Looks like it started yesterday. Okay, Ontology. So you have some sort of early movers. Anchor. Some early movers for sure. But what we want to do is we want to see when Bitcoin goes, because early movers are great, but Bitcoin really sets the it sets the pace, if you will. Once Bitcoin goes, then we can assume the market goes as Bitcoin goes, right? Okay, this is the rejection we want. We want to see this play out. Okay, so we come up for this wave 2. We do our A/B basing. This is the rejection we want. We want to see that play out. That is our pump right there. Because when this goes, remember, this translates into a wave 3. You can't see it on this time frame. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly what we want to see. That's exactly what we want to see. Come on. All we need is one foray into this new mode of price action. That basically takes us into the new world, you know. And I think, you know, given what I said in this analysis that I did a while ago, let me go back on the high time frame. So given this analysis, I'm still preparing for a top, you know, Q1, early Q2 of 2023, right? I still think that this plays out. This minor wave 3 plays out in this way, because that would make us bottom out right around the halving for wave 4, which I really like that read. Anyway, let us just sit and wait patiently. It's not like we haven't waited 600 plus days for this, so what's a few more moments? Let's sit and wait patiently and see if we can't catch a breakout. It's like fishing. It's like fishing. Once it goes, it's gonna fucking go. I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. If this is indeed it, you know? If this is indeed the breakout, it's going to go, 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 go. Come on, don't be shy. I think a lot of people are going to be caught off guard, because I think a lot of people are short. I think a lot of people are short this market, just given, you know, the fact that we broke down into this impulse right here. You know, I think a lot of people are reading that as the start of another major leg down. because they don't see it as part of this entire move right here. They don't see it as part of this move. So a lot of people, upon, like, at this resistance right here, they entered their shorts. They're still short. A lot of them are going to get trapped the higher it goes. And then when it breaks about 16.8, then a lot of them are going to get squeezed. If this plays out, obviously. What's going to be the first to break out? Everything. See, look, the indicators, also another reason why a lot of people are short. These momentum indicators, like, you know, the kind of ready-made momentum indicators, are telling everybody to sell. Right? You see that? They're all sell. So if, you know, a lot of people who trade with indicators are just seeing weakness, because indicators don't read reversals. Litecoin's probably the only one that's not showing that, given, you know, its relative strength. But, you know, indicators don't read reversals. They only read trends, right? So if the indicator is saying sell and you're selling and you're at an inflection point and you just put in a reversal pattern, and you don't know how to read price action, you only trade on indicators, you're going to get trapped or against the trade, right? On the wrong side of the trade. So yeah, indicators don't read reversals, they just read trends. And I think it's easy enough to be able to read a trend, right? It's just like this or like that. You know, indicators really don't work well for this, because sometimes you're in a trend that does this, like that, and yes, you will continue, but sometimes this is not intra-wave correction and it's a reversal. So indicators don't know which is which. They default to reading it as a continuation of this, right? So just be careful when you're using indicators. Understand how they're engineered and what they're reading. At the end of the day, you have to be able to read the indicators, whatever indicators you're using, even if, you know, the most rudimentary indicators like the stochastic RSI. So on the 15-minute time frame, we're bottomed out. Hourly time frame, we're overbought. 4-hourly time frame, we're still oversold. What will happen? We're gonna wait for a little bit, but, you know, if this doesn't happen within the next 15 minutes, then I'm just gonna call it a stream, and you know, can't say I didn't try to catch it. Exciting. So Amit says, it cannot be a wave 2 pivot at 17.6 in June. We break the low, you must shift the location of that wave 2 placement. I don't know what you're talking about, Amit. You got to get more specific. Like, wave 2, what wave 2? Of what project? Are you talking about DXY? Or 17.6, you're probably talking about Bitcoin, right? See, you gotta be more specific. Elliottians are big into like rules, and rules are important, but like you have to know that there's a lot of. Hold up one sec. Let me try to figure out what he's trying to say. Cannot be a wave 2 pivot at 17.6k in June. Let me pull out. So, let's see. What is Ahmet talking about? Wave 2 pivot in June. Okay, so you got to talk about degrees, Ahmet. When you talk about wave 2, are you talking about the minuet wave 2, the primary wave 2, the cycle wave 2? You're talking about the minor wave 2, okay? And I'm not asking for degrees all the time, but I've gone through the trouble of pointing out that this purple wave was a minor, my minor wave count. So just go ahead and say minor wave count so I know what you're talking about next time. You're saying it can't be a minor wave 2 pivot in June because of what now? Can't be a minor wave pivot in June because we break the low, you must shift the location of that wave 2, please. There's no low that you break. Where's the rule that says you can't? I don't understand what you're talking about in terms of why it can't be that. Why wouldn't it be? Okay, so I think what I understand is, Amit, you're assuming that waves look like this on the lower time frames as well as the higher time frames. Again, I think this is the problem with most Elliotticians. They don't understand that there's something called A-B basing. Price action on the higher or lower time frames don't just move and change directions. You don't just jump out of wave 1 and jump into wave 2 and jump out of wave 2 and jump into wave 3. This is pretty much what I've been talking about on my channel ad nauseum since the beginning, or since I've discovered it, maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. This is A-B basing. If you don't know what that is, look it up. In Prechter and Frost, they talk about it briefly. Look it up in Ralph Nelson Elliott's memoirs. He talks about it a little more. It's called A-B basing. And prove it to yourself, because, it's not about taking my word for it, but you think that basically this is a continuation because you don't know what to make of this, right? Is that what I'm trying to get? Like, you see this and you're like, okay, I can see that as, what I've read in the books. But then you're like, wait, what's this? This must be part of this. So you're saying that this can't be the pivot because you don't know how to explain this. That's my point. It's called A-B basing. Look it up. Prove it to yourself. Go on the minute time frame. Find me any Elliott wave, any impulse that goes from impulsive one way, goes into correction, and then goes straight back into this impulse. Or find me an example where your waves go in one direction impulsively and then for some reason switch directions. If you don't know or understand that A-B basing exists, how do you explain directions ever shifting? Or let me say that more simply. How do you explain the trend ever changing? Why then can we ever get things going down if the direction is up, right? If it started as being up, like how can it go down without the existence of A-B basing, consolidation, reversal patterns? Like, how do you explain that? Like, it just doesn't even make sense. That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys got to think on your own as well. Like, do the studying and stuff like that, but don't just apply the rules blindly. Think about it. If you can give me a good explanation, maybe, I'll change my ideas as well. But how do you explain price ever changing direction without the existence of A-B basing? If you don't know what A-B basing is, look it up and then we can have the discussion. But if you think all there is to Elliott waves are 5 waves up and 3 waves down, then that's why you don't understand my count. And I think most Elliotticians are like that, no disrespect, but it's just, you know, none of that makes sense without A-B basing. None of it makes sense without A-B basing. Yeah, Young Dasa says the move is literally going to happen in the next hours. I think so. Can you look at Zcash really quick? Yeah, let's look at Zcash. Let's see. Zcash. Do I have Zcash here? Let's check. I'll just keep it here. Because I keep adding it to my trading short list. But okay. Okay, yeah, nice volatility. This is what we want to see. This is what we like to see. Again, Zcash is showing strength, putting in zigzags. This is really nice. So what happened? You had that C wave of the larger B wave, the second degree B wave, AB base, right? And then you had a move up, targeting wave 4 of the previous trend, which you expect, okay? And that move up was apparently a 5-wave move because the subsequent retracement happened in 3 waves respecting the 0.618, and all of that resulted in a nice zigzag. So you made a higher high. And this is kind of like what Zcash has been doing. This is why we say it's been really exhibiting a lot of strength, because it's been putting in these zigzags where it doesn't necessarily have to. It could just put in a flat correction. So you have that, and now you have, I guess, what you would call, let's see, if this is A, this is B, this is second degree A. Okay, here's the flat correction here, right? So it did put in a flat correction, but on the second degree AB base right here. So you would go on smaller time frames. I guess we can do that, right? We should have enough data. Whoops. Okay. So on the 5-minute chart, you can see this is the second degree A wave, and I think this is the second degree B wave right here. Okay. So you're really basically just completing the 2 degrees of AB basing. Again, this was the first degree right here, and this is the second degree right here. Boom, boom. I would call this big A, big B, small a, small b. Boom. Okay. Yeah, Zcash is looking good. If that reads correct, this is it. This is it. Alright, let's go back on this 15-minute. Let's go back to this. Yeah. These AB bases are happening all on all time frames, right? Wave 4 of the previous trend, targeted. 1, 2, 3, B wave. That's your first degree. I think your second degree is somewhere in here. We're really, 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 really close. Okay, that's polka dot. It's how price changes direction. Uh, so um, so Young Dasa says, keep it real. Have been learning along with these lives. A B basing a bit of Elliott wave, good value. I'm saying that if you think minor wave 2 is pivoted, you cannot break the wave 2 low. If it is broken, you must shift the wave 2 placement. If you say it is a AB is done, the wave it will come after that. Sizzy wave C not 3. Guys, come on, try. Amit, you're killing me, man. You gotta try to use your autocorrect, because I want to understand what you're saying, but like you're not even. There's mad grammatical errors. I'm gonna still try to figure out what you're saying. So he's saying minor wave 2 is pivoted. You cannot break the wave 2 low. If it is broken, you must shift the wave 2. Okay, Amit, I'm gonna tell you something. There is, if you say it is AB and done, the wave it will come after that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we put in our AB base, and then we go back into the impulsive price action. But there is no, Amit, do you know about what we call in Elliott wave orthodox lows and nominal lows? Do you know the difference between an orthodox low and a nominal low? If so, just let me know. But there is no rule that states that you can't break a certain low because it set up a previous low. I understand what you're saying. Okay? I understand what Amit's saying here. I'm going to address this. Okay, so Amit is saying, let's see, where's this? It's in the master plan. And this is how you learn, These are good questions. And, you should be asking questions, whether you're asking it to somebody or asking yourself. You should be asking questions, and that's how you learn. You just keep chipping away at it. That's how you get better. Nobody knows everything, and that's how you grow, I think. You just keep asking questions. So I think Amit's confused because we set a lower low here. And he says that there's no way that this is the pivot, because if this is the pivot, then why are you going lower? I believe that's Amit's question. And so I if that's true, Amit, you want to look something up called an orthodox low. Look up this phrase, orthodox low. So in Elliott wave, you can set a lower low. It's okay. This is the orthodox low. So if I'm doing my measurements, so like if I'm on the, kind of doing my projections, and I'm taking wave 1, and then retracement of wave 2, I'm taking it from the orthodox low, which is when the technical pattern, this is kind of driving me crazy right here. Sorry, I have a stray dot. It's driving me crazy. Let's see if I can't move it. Got it. Okay, sorry about that. I'm a little OCD. So the technical low, or what we call in Elliott wave theory, the orthodox low, is the low of the pattern. So this is 3 waves down, this is 3 waves up, this is a double zigzag, I believe, right? So WXY, and then an intermediate X wave, and then another WXY, okay? So this right here is our orthodox low, and usually you see a volume spike at your orthodox low. So that's when, so technically, if everybody was an Elliottian and really, chart literate, you could say that the bull market ended here in May or June, whenever this was, right? June. Because that represents the orthodox low. You can see it represented also in the candle by a strong hammer candle, right? It shows what the Wyckoff people would call an automatic rally. It's basically selling's exhausted, and the the intention for price action is to change the trend. So price action begins the process of changing the trend from here on out with an initial break of structure, as we call it, right? Or automatic rally in Wyckoff, whatever you want to call it. We call that an A wave, okay? And it targets wave 4 of the previous trend, but this is a double zigzag, so it's not as easy to say that. But essentially, that's why you can get a lower low and still be okay. Now, can you get a much lower low? No. And that's the key thing. That's the interesting thing. If you have an orthodox low, what you can do is take your Fibonacci retracement level and target that A wave. So let's say I would go, if I wanted to really be precise, I'd go on a smaller time frame, but just for the purposes of, this discussion, let's just keep it on this time frame. Let's just say this is our A wave. It goes from there to there. The 3-wave move, right? Because this is my orthodox low, I can take the inverse 1618 and I can, if that read is correct, anything between this area is legal because I have not broken the phi ratio, the 1618. Because if this is an A wave, right, then we know the B wave can only retrace as far as the 1618 of the A wave. This is why, I understand where you're coming from, because I used to be on the level where, for me, Elliott wave was just 5 waves up and 3 waves down. All I knew was 2 modes. I only knew impulsive, right? It can, leading diagonals and, 5-3, 5-3, 5s, and sometimes, ending diagonals and stuff like that. I knew my impulsive modes. And then I knew some corrections. I knew ABC corrections. I learned a little bit of WXY, WXYXZ. I learned my complex and my simple corrections. There's more. Until you learn that, this will not make sense to you, because you will be confused by that. And what a lot of people do is they try to fit this into that. So it actually ruins everything that they know, because they see that this is quite clearly the end, right? It's quite clearly the end of this trend, the orthodox low. But because they don't know what to make of this, then they're like, I guess this isn't a double zigzag. Maybe it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so they count this as you probably are counting it right here. You're probably, the only way you can make sense of it, if you don't incorporate AB bases, make sense of this is as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're looking for wave 5, okay? And there's so many things that don't work with that, and you know it. It's just, I know you know it because I was you, because I didn't know about AB bases when I first looked at this trend, and I saw this wick right here, and it confused me, because that isn't something you typically see in a regular 5-wave move. You don't see in the middle of the 5-wave move a strong move to the upside. So that doesn't make sense. The way you make sense of this is a double zigzag. That is the most simple, elegant read of that move down. And if you want to force it into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I'll ask you the question, what the hell is this? And I'll ask you another question. Do you think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Like this? What do you make of that? Do you see? It's a double zigzag. I think it's quite clearly a double zigzag. I mean, we're looking at this on the weekly time frame. Go on the smaller time frames, it's even more clear. Okay? And so if you're thinking that this is wave 2, I'll ask you another question. Waves of the same degree are equal or comparable in time and in price? If that's wave 2, so wave 1 took about 70 days, right? Your wave 2 took around 63 days. Okay, I could see that. I could see where you're saying, okay, that's a comparable thing. And then you're seeing this as a wave 3. Let's see. Okay, so another problem. Another problem. If you're seeing this as a wave 3, then why did wave 3 come short of what you know to be true, which is a minimum extension of 1618? We all know wave 3 can go to uh, a minimum, a technical minimum of the 1 Fibonacci extension, right? So you could say wave 3 goes to the 1 Fibonacci extension, but it's not, it didn't go to the 1, it didn't go to the 1618, it's in between. So which one is it? If anything, this is a WXY, where you target between the 1 and the 1236, right? The body of the candle hit right at the 1236. So again, this is more likely than not a WXY or a double zigzag, because you can see a zigzag here and you can see a zigzag there. And those are more common than you think. So yeah, so that's the other problem with counting this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this wave 3 falls way short of the 1618, and it falls way too long of the 1 Fibonacci extension. It's unlikely. And then so now you're saying this is a wave 4 correction right here. Okay? And so you're going into wave 5, like, you know, again, I think the most damning feature of that count are these wicks right here. And I think that if you're honest and you really want to not try and force your read, you see a double zigzag. You see zigzags. Okay, you can see clearly a zigzag here, 1, 2, 3. You can measure it, and you can see another zigzag here, quite simply. At the very least, it's a single zigzag. Maybe you can see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can make a case for either a single zigzag or a double zigzag. In any case, it's a zigzag on the larger time frame. So that would mean that this is complete and this is an AB base. Okay, so that's my response. I think that's what you're asking. Okay. Let's go back to our small time frame. Breakout watch. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Synthetics looks like is this? I think this is all one move. If not this right here. In which case, I don't know about that. Maybe this is all one move right here for synthetics. Okay. Algo looks very close. I think in Algorand, I think it's quite clear. This was all one move, and then this is the second degree. Yeah, I don't understand what you're saying then. Yeah, so Ahmet says wave C is completed. Continuation to the downside will occur. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's cool. Then what he says, Ahmet says, I didn't say I counted as 5 wave. Then what do you count it as? Because you did reference. You did say wave 2 or something like that, I believe. Let's go. What do we got here? If we're gonna bounce, we're gonna bounce now. We're gonna bounce. It's gotta be now. Just these right here, these big wicks indicate the completion of a trend. This is the completion of this trend. This is basically an A wave. So everything that comes after this is, you know, B wave. Some sort of B wave for me, right? This is the completion of that trend. This is a B wave of some sort. ETH and synthetics on this watch list are showing the most weakness. And ETH doesn't typically show as much weakness. So I do believe that this, people saying that people are dumping ETH or the FTX hackers dumping ETH, I think there's something to that because ETH is typically quite strong. Obviously, it's bouncing but even this retracement, this B wave retracement right here, you don't see that in ETH that often. So you typically see, it putting in zigzags. But yeah, for people who are very bearish, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see big wicks formed repeatedly. That's literally A/B basing happening on a small time frame. Big wicks to the downside, right? After big wick to the downside, that's basing. That's what Ralph Nelson Elliott said. For price to change trend, you need to put in those A/B bases. Moment of truth. Come on, Ethereum, Zilliqa, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Synthetics, Algorand, Binance Coin, Bitcoin, Polkadot, Cardano, yeah, wave 4 right here, targeting wave 4, the previous trend. Nice 1 2 3 A B C flat correction that completes that first degree of A/B basing. I think this is your second degree completed. I believe you put in a 3-wave move and then a zigzag. I think. Dodo showing strength. Dodo showing relative strength, having put in what seems to be a zigzag with a running flat. Dodo showing relative strength. Okay, point for the small cap alts. Come on, let's go. Come on, Bitcoin. Do your thing. And I would not be I'm not confused or shocked or surprised that most people think this is going to break down, by the way. Because I think this is, you know, reversals are tricky. Most people, I think it's even, I don't know if it's even the best thing to trade reversals. I'm trading reversals on a high time frame, right? So I'm looking at this on like the daily and the weekly, and I'm trading like that. That's why I'm in my trades. That's why I'm long. But to try to trade these things on a small time frame is kind of risky. And I understand, like Peter Brett, for instance, what you want to do is let the reversal play out, let it prove itself, let it get into trend, and then trade trends, right? I used to only do that as well, just trade trends. And if I'm trading on a small time frame, I think that makes sense. But you know, high time frame, I'm looking for reversals. High time frame, I'm looking for reversals. But yeah, these reversals happen on all the time frames, so you can see it. See the same thing on a small time frame, see the same thing on a low time frame or a high time frame. It's like watching paint dry. Osman says, "Hi Dean, I missed the beginning. What do you think about Nier?" I haven't been looking at Nier. And Osman, you should be able to look, or you should be able to play it from the beginning, even when I'm live. But let's just pull up Nier. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I put the stream where you can watch whenever you want, however you want, from the beginning, even when I'm streaming. You don't have to be at the same time. Nier's looking like everything else, Osman. An initial break of structure targeting wave 4 of the previous trend. I think you have your second degree. I don't know. Maybe this is the second degree right here. Okay. Or sorry, this is the first degree B wave. Say something like that. And then this is the second degree, maybe. Or maybe all of this is part of this B wave. I'm not exactly sure, but it's looking very similar to everything else on the small time frames. And on the higher time frame, whoa. Whoa. Okay, so this is an example of something that broke. This this broke market structure. This broke market structure. Right? Because if this is an A wave, this is a subsequent B wave. Or you can say that all of this is a subsequent B wave right here. And let's say this is a second degree right here. Something like this. Okay? Whatever's happening down here, it's way below the phi ratio of any A wave. Let's just measure it. That is what... So I don't know anything fundamental about this asset, but it just seems to me like something happened that changed fundamentally, that was important enough, like a black swan event that was important enough to break the chart. Do you see what I mean? So if that's the A wave, like this, there's no way anything after this is a viable B wave. Like you've broken your phi ratio. So that to me is somewhat concerning, honestly. Will it recover? I don't know. It may, but something fundamentally happened around here, around this time, between October 11th and maybe the 7th of November, that broke market structure more than, I think it's a natural break of market structure, that a fundamental change in the underlying token or the tokenomics of this asset. Yeah, those are my thoughts on NIR. But again, if things turn around in the general market, it's very possible everything can change. Everything can turn around, including, NIR or anything else that has broken market structure. But yeah, that's my take. What is going on here? So yeah, everything's looking pretty normal in terms of this reversal. So I would say synthetics is particularly weak. It's starting to sag a bit. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, but everything's looking like it's holding market structure decently well. Okay. All right. Let's have... I did say, I would give it 15 minutes and then call it a stream. That was maybe 30 minutes ago. In any case, what is up with the DXY? Okay, not exactly sure here. Dominance is still playing around that area. Looks like there's a lot of things that are just like waiting and ready. I'm gonna wait 5 more minutes, and if it doesn't happen, then whatever. Just experience that off stream. Okay, dot starting to move. Reserve starting to move. Zilliqa starting to move a bit. Doge starting to move a bit. Just give it a little bit. It is now or never. Okay, reserve rights looking strong. We need some follow through though. Synthetics, gotta hold that level. Algorand looking okay, but definitely needs a bounce. Same with Binance. Bitcoin, yeah. It can sag a little more if it wants. I think naturally we're waiting for the DXY to complete whatever rejection or consolidation reversal pattern it's putting in right here. I think that's what we're waiting for. Let's go on the smaller time frames. Don't know. Don't know. That being said, it is decision time for these assets. Either pump or dump. If the change in trend is going to happen, it's going to happen now. Let's wait a few more minutes. This is why all traders are not ridiculously wealthy. It takes the patience of a monk to be able to sit and wait for moves to play out. That's why people have to, do their best to figure out what's going to happen, because they can't just wait and see what is happening, because moves take time to develop. It takes time. We know that for sure, because it's taken 600 plus days to even get to this point, right? I think 600 days, all in all. Let's see, something like that. So from the beginning of, from the top of wave 5 all the way to the bottom of wave C, that's 427 days or so, and then all the way till now, that's about 600 days, right? So the flat correction plus the AB basin is about 600 days. It's about 600 days. All right. Come on, Bitcoin. We got stuff to do. Not really, but we want to do other things. So move. Okay, Polkadot's looking promising. I like how a lot of these assets are crossing on the 15-minute time frame. Right, the momentum indicators putting in strong bullish divergence and crossing bullish, so it's confirming strong bullish divergence. Doesn't always play out, but that's always a good sign. Synthetics finally starting to bounce a bit, is it? Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to take the stream. I'm going to wrap up the stream just because it's seeming to take a little longer than expected, but I still do think it's coming. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited for this move. I'm really excited for it. All right. Hope this was helpful. This was useful. Guys, don't forget, like the stream on your way out. And take care. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.